Yo, what's going on everybody? So today I want to take a bit of a break from the usual content I make on the channel. So instead of talking about Naruto lore, instead of talking about discussions that are related to the anime episodes or the True Power series and various things that you guys are accustomed to from me on this channel, I want to talk to you guys about a little known tidbit that almost happened in the Boruto movie, which is Rock Lee versus Momoshiki. Now here's something that I think that a lot of people aren't aware of. So when 2015 came out and the Naruto Boruto movie came out, there was a lot of material that was actually cut from the movie simply for the fact that the Boruto movie was already a really long movie, and Masashi Kishimoto had a bunch of characters and ideas and concepts that he wasn't able to incorporate into the movie due to time restraints, which is why they cut like a huge chunk of the section that dealt with Sasuke and the different Otsutsuki clan members. In particular, they drastically cut down on the fight that happened with Sasuke and Kinshiki. Urashiki was written to have a bigger role in the movie. He wasn't in the movie, but in that whole movie arc. So this is looking at the anime version. Urashiki had a bigger role than we actually got, but they cut a lot of material out. Some of it made its way into the Boruto movie novel. Some of the stuff that Kishimoto wanted to do made its way into the Boruto Naruto Next Generation's manga, and presumably the anime as well. But when it comes to Rock Lee versus Momoshiki, when I was going through and just looking at the various information that we got during that time period in 2015, one thing that really stood out to me that I absolutely wish would have happened is there was a setup for Rock Lee to fight against Momoshiki. Now the information makes a lot of sense when you consider the fact that in the novelization, and they tried to stress this in the Boruto movie, is that Momoshiki got a lot of his power from eating those chakra fruits, those chakra pills that he has, and Momoshiki was not super skilled when it came to taijutsu. That's why the Kage were able to overwhelm him during that fight. And it's actually in the novelization for the movie when the Kage are getting ready to fight against Momoshiki, and so you have Gar and Darui, Naruto and Sasuke, and they're ganging up on base version Momoshiki. Gar is stating that, okay, like I can't really keep up with these other three, but if I would have known that we would have been facing someone who is weak when it comes to taijutsu but is still strong, we really should have brought Rock Lee along for this type of mission. I wish we would have had this knowledge beforehand. And Gar goes a step further and says, like, even though he can't keep up with the other three that he's fighting alongside, his taijutsu isn't that shabby at all, and he wants to kind of show off what he's able to do when it comes to taijutsu. And what I find very fascinating about this is that when you really think about it, Rock Lee, if there was anybody who is in Konoha, if there's anybody who is in the Naruto universe who needed to be fighting beside Naruto and Sasuke against both Momoshiki and then the fused version of Momoshiki, it really should have been Rock Lee, because Rock Lee as an adult is one of the strongest characters that on the Konoha side when it comes to the most powerful ninja in the Naruto universe. Now, what I find fascinating about this is that the Boruto anime is basically teased to us that Rock Lee knows how to open the inner gate because he gets called a master of the 8 inner gates. So it's presumed that Rock Lee, during the 15 years between the end of the 4th Great Ninja War and the events of the Boruto movie, has been able to unlock the 7th gate and the 8th gate. And so what I find fascinating about this is the fact that if you would have had Rock Lee fighting beside Naruto and Sasuke, he could have added to that holy beatdown that we got with Momoshiki, because Rock Lee in his base is already really strong. It really just depends on where you put his base. If you think that his base form is comparable to a fatigued Naruto and Sasuke who are fighting against Momoshiki at that point, or if you think that he's more of a quarter and they're still far outclassing him even in their base, when Rock Lee goes into that 7th gate, he's going to jump up several tiers. And I don't think it's too much of a stretch to say that if Rock Lee opens up the 7th gate and is fighting alongside fatigued Naruto and fatigued Sasuke, that Rock Lee wouldn't be able to hold his own. Again, we haven't seen adult Rock Lee fight too much, so it's one of those things where, yes, that's my head canon. I'm in no way, shape, form, or fashion going to deny that, but just given how well the Kages did in the movie version against Momoshiki and Kinshiki, to the point where Kinshiki was almost killed by Chojuro and by Kurotsuki. So when you look at what Rock Lee could have done, it would have been really amazing to see Rock Lee maybe use the Flying Lotus on Momoshiki. That'd have been really awesome to see something like that, just given that Naruto and Sasuke, when they fought against fused Momoshiki, it was a taijutsu beatdown. And so when you look at the anime version, another thing is like if you look at the anime version, Rock Lee would have been perfect going up against fused Momoshiki. Now granted, fused Momoshiki's really powerful. I'm not saying Rock Lee could stomp him, but when you look at just how much of a beast fused Momoshiki was, can you imagine Rock Lee fighting against fused Momoshiki, someone who's using the Hyuga clan gentle fist, and when fused Momoshiki has that scythe that he's able to make out of the chakra. Rock Lee just whips out the nunchucks and he's just going nunchuck to scythe against this dude. When you have fused Momoshiki using the Hyuga clan fighting style, Rock Lee maybe has this flashbacks when he's fighting against Neji and training with Neji, and he's starting to counter because he has experience going against the Gentle Fist. I think that we were robbed. I'm just gonna say it right now. I really think that we were robbed. I really think that this should have been that moment we saw adult Rock Lee fight. Now, I've always been one of the people who says that, you know, we really should have saw Team 7, so Naruto and Sasuke and Sakura fight against fused Momoshiki. I would have loved to have seen that, but knowing that Rock Lee was hinted at potentially someone that they would have brought down to help save Naruto if Sasuke would have shared the information about Momoshiki being weak when it comes to taijutsu, knowing that that was something that could have happened makes me wish that we would have seen it. But my question to you guys, now I want all of you power scalers who watch the videos to let me know, how well do you think that Rock Lee as an adult could have done against Momoshiki and fused Momoshiki? What do you guys think? I'm very curious, man. I would love to see somebody break that one down. Again, I don't do the power scaling, I don't do the number crunching or anything like that. You know, that's no disrespect to the power scale community, anything like that. That's just not something I say that's my forte. I've made that my stance really since I started doing YouTube. That's not something that I personally want to get into, but I want to know from you guys, what do you guys think about that? But so always, guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. Have an awesome day, guys.